Welcome to Canadian Armed Forces Fitness, your premier destination for online fitness training in the CAF community. Our mission is to provide dynamic, results-driven fitness programs tailored to meet the diverse needs and wants of our CAF members. Join us for our weekly live and bilingual workouts with options for every fitness level. Engage in our challenges and explore diverse content from mobility sessions to targeted training programs like force evaluation prep. Connect with our community by subscribing to our bulletin and following us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to stay informed on our latest updates and events. I'm Coach Saul, and together we are CAF Fitness.
Indeed, we are CAF Fitness. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Canadian Armed Forces Fitness Studios powered by PSP. I'm your host, Coach Saul. Like always, have water nearby, have space to work out in. If there's any movements that don't agree with you, your body, let me know in the comments so I can give you alternatives for those movements. Okay? Bonjour tout le monde et bienvenue dans le studio Les Facs en forme propulsé par PSP. Je suis votre hôte, Coach Saul. Comme toujours, avoir de l'eau à proximité, avoir un espace bien dégagé et sécuritaire. Et si jamais il y a un mouvement qui ne vous convient pas, dites-moi dans les commentaires pour que je puisse vous donner des alternatives pour ce mouvement-là. Aujourd'hui, on va faire de la mobilité, mais avant de commencer avec la mobilité, je vais vous montrer quelque chose. Veuillez lire l'avis de non-responsabilité qui est affiché sur l'écran en ce moment. Please read the disclaimer, which is on the screen right now, or it's also available in the description section. There's also a link towards Wordly in the chat. Wordly is for subtitles, or you can have me speak in whatever language you'd like. Il y a aussi un lien vers Wordly dans le chat. Wordly, c'est pour les sous-titres où vous pouvez me muter et me faire parler n'importe quelle langue que vous voulez. And bam, we are back. I'm telling you, I'm going to get a producer one day to do all that stuff for me so I don't have to keep walking back and forth to the computer. Okay? I can just kind of stand here and just talk, which is what I love doing. Okay. Here's what we're going to do, everyone. We're going to start with a dynamic warm-up. We're going to do some breathing included in that, and then we're going to be doing some mobility for our squat. Our discussion the other day, Noel, about the squatting had me thinking we're going to be testing our squat, then we're going to be intervening by doing some mobility exercises that are that will help us positively towards our squat position. Then we'll retest to see if it helped. And we'll repeat that process twice more. All right? So, everyone.
I got to tell you.
Well, we're going to loosen it up today. All right, everyone. So, let's start off with hip hurdles. I know it may be hard to see with black on black here, but back, out, and over. That's one. We're going to do 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's go backwards now, same leg, up in front, out to the side, and swim back. That's 1. 2, get that heel as high as possible. 3, 4, and 5. Awesome. Switching legs now. Same thing, back, out, and over. That's 1, back, out, and 2. 3, make sure you're breathing. 4, and 5. Let's go backwards. Same thing. Forward, out, and swim. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Very nice. All right, everyone, we're going to go into some boot strappers now, so I want everyone to reach down for your toes. If you can't reach your toes, that's okay. Grab your ankles or your knees or whatever you can reach, okay? And then you're going to sit down into the bottommost squat as possible, and then you're going to stand back up again, okay? So we'll go down and stand, stretch out those hamstrings, down and up, stretch out those hamstrings, down and up, down and up, down and up. And now we're going to roll up nice and slow one vertebrae at a time, stacking our spine, one vertebrae at a time. Chin comes off the chest. Very nice. And we're going to do that one more time. So deep breath. And as you exhale, fold forward. And now, deep breath. And as you exhale, roll up one vertebrae at a time, stacking the spine up one at a time. All right, very nice. This time, I want everyone to take a deep breath, reach up.
You got me in the middle
And then
of this class.
Want us to reach to the side. And up. And reach to the other side, deep breath. You're going to feel that all the way from your hips to your fingertips. And come on back up. Again, other side. Come on back up, deep breath. And lean other side. One more time per side, deep breath. And lean. And again, come on back up and deep breath and lean. Very good. And come on up. All right. Put one hand out to the side. Bring the other leg in behind. Grab your foot. Squeeze your knees together if you can. Squeeze your bum. That way your hips are going to be in a more neutral position. And stretch your quads in that leg. That's it. And 3, 2, 1. Switch sides now. Other leg in behind. And arm out to the side, of course. Hold on to your table, your chair, your wall, your tripod, whatever you got nearby for balance. This is my little nephew, my imaginary nephew here. I just have my hand on his head. That's who I use to balance. Three, 2, 1, and relax. And now other leg in front this time, bringing your knee up. Lean against something. Noel's giving me all the fuel I need to give recommendations. If you can't balance on one leg, you can always lean against the wall. You could use one hand and then the other hand just holds on to something. Switch legs now. It's perfect. Actually, leaning up against the wall is going to make sure that you have a good posture, that you're not slouching. Okay, so come on.
I got to start doing scissor kicks again.
That'll definitely increase your capacity in this direction. That's for sure. Three, 2, 1, and relax. All right, everyone. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 5 squats, okay? I want you to take a deep breath. I want you to brace your core, meaning squeeze your abs, squeeze your bum, squeeze your quads at the top, okay? And like I said, as we breathe in, we go down. Sorry, we breathe in first. We go down to the bottom of our squat. Then we stand as we breathe out, and then we squeeze our bum and our core and everything, okay? All right, so arms are for counterbalance, okay? Your arms are going to, as you get down to the bottom of your squat, your arms are going to come out in front of you to counterbalance, just like this. Ideally, in your squat position, you want to have your hips below your knees, okay? That's just the ideal. If you can't get there now, that's okay. It's not saying that you won't be able to by the end of the mobility session or further on in your fitness career if you keep working at it, okay? Arms are for counterbalance. Hips are initiating the movement. A lot of people think the knees are initiating the movement, so they bring their knees forward and then they are not able to get down into a squat. So hips go back, which then where we're talking about weight distribution, right? Weight distribution, as soon as the weight is back in my heels, and then I start going down, that allows me a little bit of room for my knees to bend forward as I get a little bit lower, and then the weight will be distributed in my midfoot. Okay, so always initiate with the hips going back, and then push through your midfoot to stand. All right, so let's do, I think we've done 2 already together, so let's do 3 more together. Deep breath, brace your core, down we go. Feet under the hips and the shoulders, straight back, come on up. Again, down we go. Down, and push to stand. And last one now, deep breath, hips back and down, knees out over your baby toes, and stand. Excellent. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to intervene. So perhaps, maybe especially if you've been sitting in a chair like I have all day, your hips are tight, your knees are tight, your ankles are tight, and you're wanting to loosen them up so that we can get back to feeling more fluid in the squat. So I want everyone to have a seat on the floor. We're going to be actually focusing mostly on the hips today, just to be completely candid and upfront. Okay? Feet go outside the hips. I want you to let your knees fall in one direction, doesn't matter which one. And I want you to ensure that you have 90 degrees in the front leg, 90 degrees in the back leg, and 90 degrees between both your legs. The reason for this is because if we cheat in like this and we have less than 90 degrees, then we're not actually reaching the full range of motion and therefore not accessing any new mobility. Okay, so we want to make sure that we have those angles so that we can really access what we need to. All right, hand on your front foot. And now I want us to do some body waves. Okay, so chest falls, chin comes down to the chest, and roll back up. Chest falls, chin comes down, and roll back up. Just like that. Very good. Try and get as deep as you can. Okay, now on your next body roll, come on back up and then rotate towards your nose over top of your toes. Because before we were doing it over the shin, now we're going to be going towards the toes. And you're going to find this is going to be a little bit shallower or more shallow or less deep than the other body waves were. Okay, make sure you're breathing as you do these. Exhale as you do the body wave. All right, now bring your chest down low, and I want you to oscillate from left to right, feeling out all the range of motion that's happening in that hip. Okay, so your hip is a ball and socket joint. Okay, so I want you to think of your hip as being able to move in any direction possible. And so if you feel like you're tight in a certain direction, stop, do a couple body waves, get a little bit deeper there, and then keep moving. Okay, because our hips should not have too much restriction in any specific direction. We're going to try and get this out. You can even do small body waves towards your foot, and then gradually as you're waving, go back to your knee. Think about reaching with your chin as well. Reach to the right with your chin, reach to the left with your chin. And 3, 2, 1, relax. All right, come on back up to a seated position. Let's switch over to the other side. And then we'll just make sure that we have 90 degrees in the back leg, 90 degrees in the front leg, and 90 degrees between both legs. Ok, alors on va assurer de 3 angles de 90 degrés. On met la main sur le pied et on va faire des ondes corporelles ou les ondulations du corps au-dessus du tibia. Et on essaye d'aller plonger avec le menton et en nous relevant, on garde le menton sur la poitrine jusqu'à temps qu'on est en haut. Nice. All right, everyone. Now I want you to rotate so that your nose is over your toes and back to the body waves. A little bit more shallow. Okay. Lead with your chin. Et on veut initier le mouvement ou le pencher avec le menton et on va se relever avec le menton aussi. And 3, 2, 1. Let's go over the shin again and we're going to be oscillating back and forth. Ok, alors on va aller de un côté à l'autre et on veut leader encore une fois avec le menton. Ok, alors on garde le menton devant nous. On va balayer de un côté à l'autre tout en respirant. Et en remarquant aussi les points de tension. Alors, si vous arrivez à un certain point où vous découvrez un petit peu de raideur ou quelque chose, je veux que vous faites des ondulations pour soulager cette tension-là afin de soulager. Et ensuite, on va continuer à faire des gauche-droite. Ce qu'on veut leader, encore une fois, avec le menton. Très bien. Et 3, 2, 1. On se relève et on revient au centre. Okay, everyone, we're going to retest the squat now. So I want you just to shake out your legs. You can do a couple windshield wipers if you'd like as well. And let's get up and let's practice that squat again. So we're going to do 5 more squats. And again, I want you to focus on the external rotation of your upper leg. Okay, so knees pointed out over your baby toes, but that doesn't mean that I want you to rotate your feet out like this. I want you to try and keep your feet straight, knees out over the baby toes. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Down, arms out for counterbalance, bottom of your squat, and stand. Beautiful, good. Again, hips back and down, all the way, and stand. And if there's anything that's maybe limiting you, make sure that you notice it. Make sure you put it in the comments, or Noel, he's online with me. He can just speak and I will know exactly what he needs. Okay, so hips back and down, If there's anything restrictive, make sure you notice it now. And 4, let's go back down. And up. And 5, down. Bottom of your squat. And up. Beautiful. All right, good. Now, there's many different reasons why this happens, but a lot of us will have like a little pelvic tilt at the bottom of our squat. So instead of staying upright, see what happens to my hips here? So my bum was out from my hips going back, but then all of a sudden I lose that to achieve the bottom of the squat. So I want to try to avoid losing this and having that posterior pelvic tilt. So what's happening is we're just losing engagement in the low back and glutes, and then the pelvis is tilting backwards. So we want to try and keep the pelvis neutral or back, anterior tilt during the squat. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do an exercise. It's a mobility exercise, but mobility doesn't just mean stretch, stretch, stretch. We're actually going to build up our capacity in external rotation of the knees. Okay, so let's have a seat back in that 90-90 position. Don't worry, we're not going back to body waves and stuff like that. We're just going to be doing an exercise where we're actually going to be lifting the front leg off the floor. Now, this is a difficult thing to do, okay? But we're going to be holding it for 10 seconds. And even if all you're doing is helping with your hand and then squeezing the muscles that are needed, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be lifting our front leg off the floor and holding it for 10 seconds and then bringing it back down. Okay? So, lifting that front leg off the floor, that's all we're going to do. Even if you need to help with your hand, make sure your muscles are working though. Make sure you don't do all the work with the hand. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and lift. 8, 9, 10, and relax. All right, let's switch over to the other side. We'll give that side a break a little bit. Okay, 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. Ok, côté droite, pour moi en fait. Ok, 3, 2, 1, on lève la jambe avant. 3, 9, 10, et on peut l'atterrir, et on change l'autre côté encore. Okay, changing to the other side again. So we're going to be lifting that leg up. 10 seconds again. We're going to do it 3 times each side. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, and up. Hold. And relax. Switch over to the other side. Okay, and if you're feeling this in your hip flexors, yes. Okay, the hip flexors, everything is all attached. Okay, in terms of your pelvis. So we're strengthening the hip flexors so that they're going to help us hopefully stay in that position again. 3, 2, 1, and up. And relax. Whew. All right, switch back over to the other side. Last time on the left for me, on side 1, we'll say. Side 1. I didn't specify on the first one. All right, get ready. 3, 2, 1, and lift. Nine and 10. Switch to the other side. Last one. Oh man, this is spicy. Okay, lifting that front leg in 3, 2, 1, and up.
How spicy?
Caliente.
Caliente? So like Scotch bonnet spicy or like habanero spicy?
Habanero. Habanero.
Yeah.
I don't know if you feel it. I feel it. Chew.
Just a little burn, yeah.
And relax. Whew. Okay. It's now time to test the squat. Okay, and I remembered what the term is when your pelvis does that tilt. It's called a butt wink. Okay, so a butt wink, like your hips are closing. Okay, so we want to keep them open. All right, so hips, feet under the hips or the shoulders, whatever you're most comfortable with. Hips go back and down, and I want you to try and maintain. Do it slowly. Maintain that position. Don't allow your butt wink to happen. Right? Hips back and stand. Let's do it again. And hips back and down. And up. And again, hips back and down. And up. Good. 4. And we go. Get low, but stay neutral spine. And stand. Last one now. Hips back and down. And come on up. Nice job. All right, everyone. Now we're going to work the internal rotation of your hip. Okay? So we're going to get back into that 90-90 position, but instead of lifting the front leg up, you're going to be lifting your back leg up. Okay? I'm not sure which dance move this is. I'm sure it's like a movement that the kids are doing, or I don't know, it's like an old one, maybe the Charleston or something. Okay, anyways, we're going to be doing that internal rotation of the hip. So, front knee, bent 90 degrees. Back knee, bent 90 degrees. You're simply going to be, you can lean over your front leg, and you're going to be lifting that back foot off the floor. Now, this is glute city. I promise you, you're going to feel it in your glutes. If you start cramping, then you need to lay down on your opposite elbow, straighten your leg. Make sure you release the tension, okay, if you start cramping. All right, so we're over our front leg, and we're lifting the back foot off, driving the knee into the floor. 3, 2, 1, and up. Going for 10 seconds. And down. And now switch, other side. Okay, 90 degrés. Et on va lever la jambe arrière, ou le pied arrière. 3, 2, 1, c'est parti. Et relâche ça. Et on va à l'autre côté. Okay, like I said, if you're using your hand, excellent. But make sure that you're not just cranking your leg up with your hand. Make sure that your muscles you're using your muscles to maintain somewhat that angle. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and up. And down. Switch. Okay, get ready for number 2 on the left leg. Well, for me, the left leg. And up. And down. And switch. Il nous reste 2. Un de chaque côté. 2 reps. OK? Alors, on tient le pied. On est au-dessus de notre tibia. Et 3, 2, 1. On fait le lever de la jambe arrière. Et on change time, on change de jambe. Pour la dernière fois, dans cette phase du séance. 3, 2, 1, c'est parti.
Hey, Saul.
Yep.
How many chicken wings do you think you could eat?
I know for a fact I can eat 24 in one sitting. No biggie. And relax. All right, shake it out. You can call me, what's that guy? You can call me Joey Chestnut. You can call me Coach Chestnut. He's the hot dog eating champion. But he holds all the records. Everybody, if you want to see something amazing, but like if you're grossed out by people eating food, don't do it. But if you want to see something amazing, go on YouTube and search Joey Chestnut. He has the most records. He has the record for the most records of eating in the world, if that makes sense. So like most pies in X number of time, most hot dogs in, is it 10 minutes they give them? I don't know. Like he eats like 137 hot dogs. Anyways, he's eaten everything and he eats it fast. All right. And he eats a lot of it. Let's test our squats one more time. And then we're going to be doing an exercise where we're going to be rolling from one side to the other, doing some box get-ups. That's good for our hips and it's good for our squat. Okay. So 5 squats here. There we go for my Instagram folks. I'm in the center. Hips back and down. Knees out over your toes. No butt wink. And come on up. Okay. Make sure your butt is staying back and not scooping under. Okay. Here we go. Back and down. And up. Good. And 3 back and down. And up. And 4, down we go. And up. There's lots of things to think about just executing a simple air squat, right? And back and down. But of course, we just have to think, we have to have like a hierarchy of I guess, concerns when we have to triage what we're looking for based on whether we're carrying load or not, right? So when we are doing an air squat, can you safely do an air squat with no weight? Even if the technique isn't 100% correct? Yes, you probably can. Right? Even if you're kind of hunched over a little bit, it's okay. You're not holding any weight. But these techniques, these what I'm talking about, going out over your knees, knees over toes, I should say, your baby toes, keeping your back straight, avoiding the butt wink. This is all stuff that like when you start lifting heavier weight, when your technique is sound, you're going to be able to lift more weight and you're going to be able to do it safely because you're recruiting the right muscles and you're moving in the right pattern. Anyways, all that to say, it's just like, what's a deadlift? You drop a pencil on the floor and you got to pick it up. Is this proper deadlift technique? No, because my shoulders went below my hips. But to pick up a pencil, which weighs like a couple ounces, I'm not going to get down into a deadlift position, right? Because that's ridiculous. But the better our position when we're starting to lift heavier weights, the more weight we're going to be able to lift and safely. All right. Finally, we're going to be doing these box get-ups from one side to the other. We're going to try 5 per side. OK, on va faire 5 de chaque côté des box get-up. Et ça regarde, ça ressemble ça. On est dans la position 90-90 avec ou sans nos mains au sol. Vous pouvez utiliser les mains au sol si vous voulez, mais sinon, ça c'est la version expert. On roule au-dessus de notre tibia et on se lève. Comme d'habitude, on se lève complètement. Mais si on veut pas se lever, moi je vais pas me lever complètement, je vais juste me lever ici. On rebaisse nos fessiers au sol, on change et on se relève de l'autre côté comme ça. Okay? So let's do 10 times back and forth. You can stand all the way up to your feet if you want. I personally am just going to go to my knees. Okay? And up we go. Okay, back into the center, and up we go. This is the expert version, by the way. You can use your hands. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and down. Whew! Well done, everybody. Nice work. That's all that I had planned for today. Why don't we do some breathing to cap this one off? I'm going to cross my legs. Whew! Feel free to do the same. Yep, we opened up our hips. I'm feeling it. Okay.
What about
What's that?
What about a pigeon pose?
Pigeon pose? Yeah, you can take a pigeon pose while we breathe, for sure. Yeah. If you want, instead of doing cross-legged, you can hit a pigeon pose for sure and just hold it there. Okay, we're going to take deep breaths now. We're going to take a deep breath in over 5 seconds. We're going to hold it for 5 seconds, lungs full. Empty our lungs out over a course of 5 seconds, and then keep the lungs empty for 5 seconds, and we'll repeat that 5 times. Okay, so let's go in. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. And while you're holding your breath, switch legs. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Excuse me. Exhale. Hold. All right, everyone. We can now come back to a neutral position. And why don't we go into a nice child's pose to cap this session off. So hips back, reach forward, head through the arms. So lower your chest and your head through. Okay? Everyone, Beyond Resolutions is on right now. It is week 2 this week. Tomorrow, so yesterday we did some strength work. Tomorrow is going to be some mobility. So you're going to get a double dose of mobility this week. Lucky, lucky, ducky, duckies. But next week is week 3. So next week, for week 3, you're going to see 2 conditionings. You're going to have one on Monday and one on Friday. You're going to have strength on Tuesday, and then on Thursday, mobility, just like we do here. So maybe, who knows, maybe I'll double it up and I'll do the mobility that we do in Beyond Resolutions during our noon session. That way, in case you didn't see the video, then you'll be able to. Okay? My G, Ethos, and Eris Project. Thank you for your comments. My G. Au-delà des résolutions, c'est parti tout le monde. On est le jour demain, on est jour 3 de semaine 2. Et la semaine prochaine, c'est semaine 3, dans lequel on va avoir 4 entraînements au lieu de 3. Alors, on va s'entraîner plus souvent. Alors, lundi, c'est conditionnement. Mardi, c'est la force. Jeudi, c'est la mobilité, comme on a fait aujourd'hui et comme on fait d'habitude les jeudis. Et vendredi, c'est une deuxième entraînement de conditionnement cardiovasculaire de la semaine. OK? Alors, au-delà des résolutions, visionnez les vidéos, entrez le mot mystère dans le formulaire sur le site web et vous pourriez gagner des prix fac en forme. Merci de votre participation dans cette séance. J'espère que vous passerez une merveilleuse week-end. On se voit demain dans la vidéo YouTube au-delà des résolutions. Mais sinon, ayez une merveilleuse week-end et on se voit la semaine prochaine, lundi, pour la préparation force. Thank you everyone. We'll see you tomorrow in the YouTube video, or if I don't see you then, I'll see you Monday for some force prep.
Bienvenue aux Forces armées canadiennes en forme, votre destination principale pour l'entraînement physique en ligne dans la communauté d'Espace. Notre mission, c'est d'offrir des programmes de conditionnement physique dynamiques et axés sur les résultats, conçus pour répondre aux divers besoins et désirs des membres des facs. Rejoignez-nous pour nos séances d'entraînement hebdomadaires, en ligne, en direct et bilingue, avec des options pour tous les niveaux de forme physique. Participez à nos défis et explorez notre contenu varié, des séances de mobilité aux programmes ciblés tels que la préparation pour l'évaluation force. Connectez-vous avec notre communauté dynamique en vous abonnant à notre bulletin et en nous suivant sur Facebook, Instagram et YouTube pour rester informé de nos dernières mises à jour et nos événements. Je suis Coach Saul et ensemble, nous sommes les facs en forme.